Hey there, and thank you so much for purchasing this resource from the Smooth Educator. I want to walk you through a couple of things in here, give a little bit of tips, and then just show you how I use this resource, just so we're all using the same thing, but not sounding exactly like robots. So first and foremost, I want you to know that these emails came about by teacher request. We did a lot of research to see what emails are most commonly sent by teachers across all different subjects and grades. So we came up with these 32 different templates for you. I will also say that the templates you're going to see in here are very kind of plain language. They're a little bit vanilla in terms of personality, and that's done on purpose because we want you to be able to infuse your personality, or some of these you want to just keep them very professional and not use a lot of flowery language because we want to get straight to the point, right? So in here, you're going to notice a couple of things. There's two different ways to navigate through here. One is through this table of contents. You can hop right to where you want to go over here. So if I want to go to teacher to parent messages, I can click on that table of contents. The other is over here in this outline section. And if you don't see this outline, you might just have it turned off. So there's this little option over here, the show document outline, and you can just hop right over here and navigate through. You'll notice that all the messages are in here, specifically over in this outline, as opposed to up in the table of contents. It's really just by category. So a little bit different, either way works. Okay, so we have some tips in here for emailing parents and students. We have tried to follow these tips as we came up with these templates for you so that you should be good to go. So we've divided them up first into constructive messages. There is some debate about how to phrase that. We didn't want to say negative, but we want them to be constructive. So these are messages that are going to be in terms of student issues that you need to address with parents or students. So it might be in danger of failing, or they're missing an assignment. Some of them you'll notice that there are two different options. So this missing assignment has rolling submissions or closing submissions. So rolling submissions is there's no endpoint for students to turn this in other than maybe the end of the term. And closing submission means that on this date, I'm no longer accepting them. So you need to get it in, or the zero will be permanent, something like that. So you have those two options for, the same sort of situation, just different ways of handling it, right? So homework concerns, there's a lot. You notice, of course, there's a lot more constructive messages than anything else because that's unfortunately how we spend a lot of our time emailing. Unique needs are things like there's a project coming up. This is where you might want to get a little bit more detail, a little bit more personality. The sick child policy. Don't send your kids to school sick. End of email. There might be a progress report. If you have a student who's on an academic plan or a behavior plan that you want to give an update about each week or whatever it is, however frequently you want to do that, then you can, just fill this in and use this as a template. And of course, positive messages as well. Showing kindness if you notice improvements, if you've seen behavior improvements. Oh, there's an extra one there. Okay. This is supposed to be academic behavior. I was supposed to change that. We're going to get on that though. Okay. So then we have teacher to student messages. We also have these two teacher to student messages, and these messages are going to be a lot of the same ones, just phrased for students instead of parents, right? And this might be a transition where, somewhere in late middle school, high school, wherever you decide to do this, you start to email the students instead of the parents just to give them some more ownership. But again, it's a lot of the same thing, missing assignments and danger of failing, right? If we go to unique needs, there might be a progress update, maybe a study tips, right? You wouldn't send that to parents necessarily, but it might be something that you send to the kids. And showing kindness, right? Behavior improvement seen, encouragement. So there might be something like keep up the great work. You could also send this to parents as well. They always love to get this stuff. And the last category in here is responses to common student emails. Yeah, so these are things that we get a lot from students, and the templates that are included give you a pretty easy breezy way to just copy and paste an answer to them. So dear student, if they ask for an extension and you're going to say yes, right? Thank you for reaching out. In this case, I can grant an extension until blah, blah, blah. Or if you're going to say no, unfortunately, school policy doesn't permit, yada, 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 right? If they request extra help, absent notification, they're late, they're grade inquiry. Ugh, I hate grade inquiries. So all of those things are in here. Now, with the exception of these responses to common students, because those are going to be responses to emails, if you use something like, PowerSchool to do your messaging for you, and they have fields like the student, instead of having this thing where you have to replace it each time, then you could always look at PowerSchool, which is like caret first name, maybe first underscore name. I don't know what it is exactly. Check that out. But that way you can copy and paste it into the system, and then you have exactly what you need there, right? This stuff like the name of the assignment and the due date, maybe they have those, maybe they don't. You can adjust this classroom canvas element. Like you don't need to have this option there. You can customize this as you go. And obviously your name and contact information, you can customize as you go. So you can customize this inside this document, and that way as you're copying and pasting, there's less for you to adjust as you go. Some other things that I've seen people do is like if they have been on this topic, like they'll highlight the things that they have to fix just so that they don't forget about it before they actually send the email, because we've all gotten those emails with like a blank space that we forgot to fill in. So just another way for you to use this. But hopefully this pretty much covers everything that you need to do, including like pain in the tuchus stuff like uncharged computers, right? I wanted to let you know that so-and-so needed to leave their class to get their computer charger 3 times this week because they didn't charge it at home. Please remind them to do this. Just little things also covered in here, right? And if you want to create your own template that you use for something, you can always just Control C and copy and then paste it in there. If you change this to my own email, right now you see it comes up over here, my own email. So whatever it is, you can create the subject and the message and it'll show up there for you so that everything will be there. You can get to your own email in the same way that you would get to any of the others that I have created for you. All right, I hope that helps. Again, if you need any assistance or if there's anything you'd like us to add to this document, please reach out to thesmootheducator@gmail.com. Until then, I hope you have a great school year.